I'm going to share with you some of my favorite ideas and concepts from the articles below. The first one is being prepared. I found that I have a shorter fuse with children when I'm not prepared. So I need to get enough rest. I need to read the lesson plan at least the night before so I can think about it ahead of time. I know where we're going with stuff. So that way when I come in the classroom, I can control the energy and where it's going to be directed. All right? So be prepared. You'll find that you'll have your most frustrating day is because you're not prepared, not necessarily because the kids are all being disrespectful. Another tip for screen-free volunteering is by focusing on yourself. When you're in a situation where a child is being frustrating you, you need to own it. So name it. What are you feeling? A lot of times it's not frustration. Sometimes it's disrespect or shock or why would somebody do this? You're feeling all these emotions at once, so name it. Focus on yourself and then calm yourself down. Take a deep breath. Focus on yourself, calm yourself down, and then grow yourself up. What is the best choice you can make that will encourage the child to make wise choices and make you a better leader? Okay? So focus on yourself, calm yourself down, grow yourself up. All right? A great way to grow yourself up is learning your teaching style, learning how you like to run the show. And so for me, I'm a control freak. I like to have everything organized. I like to run it like a military sergeant, And so that's great. Kids love it because it's consistent. But you know what? I don't really know how to have fun. So I have to really practice at it. So I think my kids would say that I'm fun, but I really have to program fun because I'm a control freak, all right? That's who I am. Own it, name it, and then move on from it, all right? Some of you are really fun. You can actually operate in chaos a lot better than me. When I see chaos and it's not controlled, I freak out. But fun people love it. They thrive in it. But what they need to know is that not every child learns that way. And so they need to learn how to have more control in their classroom, a little more strategy in their fun. Cool, right? So by having a consistent way in learning your learning style, you can actually cut down the problems you have in your class by just focusing on yourself. So great article, it's down below, learning your ministry style. All right, so great information below. Let me share another one that's favorite to me. We have a video in our video library called Being a Great Volunteer, and there's a rule called the restaurant rule. So you watch that video, but in brief, I'm just going to share it with you. Whatever you wouldn't allow from your child's friends at a restaurant, you shouldn't have to allow it in children's ministry, okay? We're not going to be disrespectful to the waitress. We're not going to damage property. We're not going to be roaming around the restaurant without a purpose, right? Okay? If you wouldn't expect it or accept that kind of behavior at a restaurant, don't accept that kind of behavior at church. Also, when you discipline your child's best friend, you don't spank them or use abusive talk with them. Obviously, you're not going to do that at church either. Okay? What are some choices you can make? Real quickly, there's some great material in there, but this is what I say. I say give your kids choices. Johnny, crayons are meant for paper, not the table. If you cannot make a wise choice with the crayons, like coloring on paper and not on the table, I will take the crayons away from you. Then maybe tell them once or twice before and then say, next time I ask you, you're basically choosing to not play with crayons, and then take it away. Hey Johnny, if you can't be quiet while the teacher's talking, then you'll have to sit next to me. That's your choice. Then if they continue to talk, say, Johnny, I need you to sit next to me because you're disrupting the class. Perfect, right? It's okay to give time out. Like a lot of times what I'll do is if a kid keeps asking questions without raising their hand or asking to be called on and they're disrupting the class, then I have them sit out from the group. Not in a corner or far away from the group. I just set them aside so that they know that they are not allowed to participate at that moment. We never kick kids out of worship or Bible lesson time, but we do set them off aside so they can still process and hear things, but they're not allowed to participate in the question and the answers. All right? Man, if discipline is something that you have in your classroom, a lot of times it's about how you own the room and the attitude that you have. A lot of these kids, here's what they're going to do. They're going to test you. They're going to see if you're really legit. So what they're going to do is act like they don't hear you. They're going to ignore you because they're just kind of smart like that. They know, like, who's going to really ride this out? So stay the course and call them on it. Say, Johnny, Matt, I know you hear me. I know you know how to make good choices. So when I'm talking, you need to have a bubble in your mouth. They'll do great. All right? Because they'll be like, ooh, you called me on it. All right. If you have any questions about it or need some more tips that aren't answered in the downloads below, call, text, or email.